Sometimes you just gotta go back in your whole bag and pack your pack. Hi everybody.
How y'all doing?
Welcome to my channel. I am Chantel. This is the Telly Tale channel. If you are new here, please subscribe. We just made it to 2,000 followers and we are going to be having a giveaway here shortly. To all my oldies but goodies, thank you so much for having me again. With our 2,000 follower giveaway, I would love some of y'all ideas. I was thinking about doing like 2 $100 gift cards, but I don't want to do that because that sounds so boring. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about hygiene. And I just made a video yesterday on TikTok and I decided I want to share it with my people here. Now, I think the video is on its way to going viral. Last I checked, it was like 550,000 views and that it hasn't even really been 24 hours since that posted. So I feel like I should owe it to you guys to also share this information here as well. With the summer coming up, I think that this is a perfect conversation to have, and I would like to share 10 of my hygiene tips that aren't just the basic, please take a shower and put on some perfume, but some true to life tips that I've learned along the way that will help you stay fresh and smelling good throughout the entire summer. So if you are interested in seeing that, please let me know. I'm pretty chatty. I put all of the timestamps down below. If you want to check those out, please do. I actually have a little list that I posted on TikTok, but I added a couple of them for y'all because y'all my favorites. Just don't tell nobody, don't tell nobody. The first thing that I have on my list is the shower tools. And when I say shower tools, I'm specifically speaking of a detachable shower head. I like detachable shower heads, but it's one particular function that I have to have in my detachable shower heads, and that is a straight stream option. The reason why I like a straight stream option is not necessarily for the rooter because it's a little bit too harsh for that area, but for the tutor. And think you're a good wiper and you get yourself a shower head with the stream option. Run a little experiment. Do what you gotta do. Wipe yourself until you clean and then get in the shower and use that shower blasty thing.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
And then I also like to have a detachable shower head because it helps me be more intentional, which we'll talk about more within my bathing, and really get in those nooks and crannies, rinsing and washing the way I want to. So yeah, a detachable shower head. I'll try to create a list for everything in there so you can go straight to my Amazon storefront and find my shower favorites. If you want to support me, you can shop from that link. Or if you just want to go in Amazon and search up shower heads and find the one with the stream option, that will be helpful to you as well. Number 2 on my list is about deodorant and knowing your musty threshold. Now, your musty threshold is the point at which you get musty throughout the day. But it is important to know when you get musty because depending on the person, you may have to reapply your deodorant throughout the day. For a lot of people, one application of deodorant is not going to make you or get you through the entire day. For some people, one application of deodorant will last you days. I know people like that. But then there's people like me where I need to reapply deodorant at least about every 4 to 8 hours, depending on how active my day is. So yes, reapplying your deodorant and knowing your musty threshold is key. Next thing that I have on my list is to make sure that you are straight up dry. Like, make sure you are dry down below. And when I say down below, that's the vaginal area, the butt area, between the thighs, all of that. And for some people, you think that towel drying will suffice and that that's good enough, but a lot of times we are leaving behind extra moisture. Bacteria love moisture and wetness. You want to make sure that you're not helping bacteria grow and fester in those areas. For me, I have a towel, so every time I'm getting dressed and when I'm at my vanity and everything like that, doing my lotions and my perfumes, I let the fan blow down there to make sure I'm getting dry. Of course, when I get out the shower, I'm going to towel dry and make sure things are okay there, but I'm also using the fan to help me out in this area as well. Sometimes, depending on how much of a rush I am, I might even hype my little leg up.
Prop that motherfucking leg up.
And put my little leg up there just to make sure that the fan is really circulating and getting things done for me. So yeah, making sure she is dry is an amazing way to start off from a fresh base. Next thing that I have on my list is fabrics. Now, there are certain fabrics over on TikTok, we call them musty fabrics, but there are certain fabrics that make you funky quicker. Funky dogs. And I've even talked about it to way how you can circumvent those type of fabrics, because let's face it, everything is made of non-cotton or non-silk type of fabric nowadays, even these so-called luxury brands. But polyester, nylon, lycra, spandex, those type of fabrics, depending on the person, because some people aren't necessarily sensitive to those.
You think you're better than me?
But they can make you musty or they can make you smelly a little bit quicker. So trying to avoid those fabrics or doing things to circumvent that, like adding extra deodorant on the outside of your shirt, that may be helpful to you as well. But when it comes to your panties and then when it comes to things that are going to be closer to those intimate areas, I would suggest trying to avoid them at all costs, making sure that you are using 100% cotton things and materials. We're going to also talk about cotton when it comes to your period and your vaginal area later on, but yeah, that's where I'm going with that. All right, so cotton, we just talked about cotton, but one of the things that I've done that I noticed took my hygiene up 1,000 points. I mean, like City Girls is up 1,000 points. That is, I have stopped using disposable menstrual products, and I now use a menstrual cup. Sometimes I'll use menstrual cloth pads and cloth liners. I actually use ones that I made myself, but that's a whole nother story. But I now use what is called a lunette. I know that's not for everybody. I know everyone is not that comfortable being that hands-on with blood and bodily fluids, and I understand that. But if you do choose to go that route, I think that you will find a lot of benefits to it. If you want to keep that in mind, you can also use more natural or cotton-based menstrual products. Keep in mind now, you may have to change them a little bit more frequently, or they may tear up a little bit easier because they're not manufactured as with all of those industrial or toxic chemicals that a lot of, like Always, Kotex, and those type of things are made with. And they also are a little bit more expensive. If I could put that at number one, I would, but I understand.
But the plan is to show you that I understand.
It's a learning curve to menstrual cups. It's a learning curve to cloth products. And some people just don't want to be that hands-on with it. I respect that. Next thing that I have on my list is being intentional when you're bathing. And this is something, I hope you don't hear me saying this, but this is something that I'm actively working on with my son. Like literally going in the shower and making sure that you're just not going through the motions and just bathing and getting out of there. Making sure you are taking the time to open up your fingers and bathe your fingers, washing and making sure you are scrubbing your nails, getting the excess deodorant from the day before or the night before off, lifting up boobs, getting up under those, opening up things, getting in between those areas, but just taking your time, making sure that you are bathing and getting those areas nice and clean and being intentional with it. Also making sure you wash your legs, getting in between your toes, underneath your foot. Those are areas that we tend to miss when we're just going through the motions and we're just trying to hurry up and shower and just get it over with. But you must take your time, or if you don't even have the time to give, just making sure that you do a nice intentional bath, because one lather up intentionally beats, I would say, 3 very fast washes, in my opinion, any day. The next one, we talked about it a little bit before, but your whole bag to go bag, you never know bag. And that is a bag filled with hygiene based items to help you when you need a refresh. Now, sometimes we talked about that musty threshold a little bit ago. Sometimes when you are beyond the musty threshold or beyond the point of return, you are on what I call the path of no return. Like, you cannot just put on deodorant on top of that and then expect to not be musty anymore. You have to remove everything and then remove the bacteria that has accumulated in that area and start all over again. Your whole bag to go bag, you never know bag, is going to come in handy. You're going to keep in deodorant in there, wipes in there, extra toothpaste in there, extra toothbrush, charger, non-perishable food items. Yes, there has been a time where I forgot my lunch and my whole bag saved me. Got some cereal and some canned good up out of that thing. But some water, a water bottle, a spray bottle, just some things that'll help you refresh yourself. Or sometimes you just gonna have to pat your pad. And pat as in your... Shout out to my sister's family for that and her passing that on to me. But sometimes you just got to go back in your whole bag and pat your pad. I'm also big on what me and my sister call a midday refresh. And that is where, like, in the middle of the day, especially when we have an active day, you go in your whole bag and you just kind of freshen yourself up. reapplying deodorant, powder, brushing teeth, whatever you need to do in order to freshen yourself up. So yes, I am a huge proponent of a whole bag to go bag, you never know bag. As a matter of fact, I need to revamp mine and I need to re-up on mine. So we're gonna go together soon. Just stay tuned.
Don't you?
The next tip that people seem to really love over on TikTok is hitting them corners. Now the corners is this area here. It's where the mons pubis and the thighs tend to meet. So it's like that corner area. One of the things I love is witch hazel. Witch hazel and them corners, they go together real bad.
Real bad.
I've used witch hazel as a toner as well, but putting witch hazel on a cloth pad, on a piece of cloth or a paper towel or a makeup, like one of those cotton rounds, and literally just taking it right after you shower and pat dry a little bit, taking it and rubbing those areas, rubbing it underneath the booty cup, under your arms, under your boobs, slicing in between that butt, and then allowing yourself to dry, doing this right before you go over and put on your lotions and everything like that. That is going to take you to A1. Make sure you don't have an allergy to it, so like do a skin test on it, but it doesn't burn and it literally helps odors and everything in between. Love me some witch hazel. And then there were some people on TikTok also saying that they use witch hazel to clean out their belly buttons. I tend to just use Dial soap, which we're gonna get into in a minute, but yeah, witch hazel on them corners. The next one I have is an exfoliating cloth of some sort. Some people use an African net sponge or whatever it's called. I use a Korean bath mitt called a Salux. I don't know if it's called a Salu or Salux. I will put a picture on the screen, of course. And they literally have tiered levels. And I've worked myself over the years to the most exfoliating levels. You better lay low. You need to be careful with this because I have burnt at least one time a year I go in there not being intentional, not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm scrubbing and I'll literally irritate my skin. So you have to be careful, and if you decide to start with the Salute cloth or the Salux cloth, please start at the lowest level because they are very harsh. So using something to really get up under those arms to get off that dried up deodorant from the day before, removing dead skin cells, that is going to take your hygiene up to the next level. So yeah, a Salux cloth, and again, it'll be in that Amazon link. It's supposed to be number 10, but I got another one after this. I have a cleansing bar. A cleansing bar is a bar that you will start with first thing in the shower. It's before you use your smell goods or your smell good shower gels or your emoliating shower gel. For me, when I get in the shower, I get in the shower for 3 functions. 1, to cleanse. 2, to tone my skin, like making sure I'm using something that's healthy for my skin, something that has shea butter in it, cocoa butter, and then also to moisturize. And the first thing I do is I use the Dial soap. I spoke about this plenty of times on this channel, and I know some people don't like this, so use any other cleansing bar. There is Dove soap, there's Dove unsensitive, there's Dove antibacterial soap, Ivory bars, whatever bar that you need, or there's the Dr. Bronner's as well. I can't use it. That's a little too dry for me, but you have to go in first with a very cleansing soap before you get into your emoliating things. And for me, that's Dial soap. I start every single shower out with my Dial soap. I know y'all see on my empties, I go through, I should buy stock in Dial. If you stayed this long, you got a bonus. But another tip specifically for the summertime that is really going to help you is a talc-free dusting powder. I did a whole video on talc-free powders and why I use body powders. I had some questions that came from that. Y'all showed me so much love on that. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna do a part 2 where I literally show you how I incorporate it into my routine, show you how I use it, and just get more nitty gritty into it. But a talc-free powder underneath your arms after you've applied all your lotions and your deodorants and everything, applying it underneath your arms, in between them corners. Sometimes I'll even swipe it in between my peach crack, behind my knees if I'm wearing a long maxi dress, in between my thighs, like anywhere that is prone to wetness and moisture. I don't know, I grew up with an old school mama, a southern old school mama, and I don't think a lot of people know about powder, but it's starting to come back on TikTok, so please just try it. Anyway, that is all that I had. If you have stuck around this long, you are a real one. If you stuck around and you have not subscribed, what's the reason? I hope to see y'all next time.
Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body. body don't stop, don't